What's up guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I'll be going over the Season of the Undying Gambit Ritual Weapon, the Exit Strategy Submachine Gun. Now, how to obtain this weapon, the Drifter will have a quest, and basically you just have to go into Gambit and get a certain incomplete... Now, how to obtain this weapon, basically you will get a quest from the Drifter you can go pick up, and he will ask you to complete, I believe it is 3 objectives. One's like submachine gun kills, one's like multi-kills, and one is earning points, and that you just by getting kills and banking motes and killing primevals and stuff like that. So that is how you get this weapon. It definitely took, I think it took me about 18 Gambit matches to get this thing, so it's definitely a little bit of a grind. So quickly going over the perks: adaptive frame, a well-rounded grip, reliable and sturdy. Arrowhead break, greatly controls recoil, increases handling speed. Ricochet rounds, increases stability, slightly increases range, and it ricochets off hard surfaces, obviously. Then we have the choice of Underdog and Threat Detector. I went with Threat Detector because it increases reload, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity, which we know in PvE is almost all the time. Like Underdog, I really don't feel a need to have a boost to my reload speed when I'm weak. If I'm going to be near enemies anyway, I already get that bonus, right? Plus, you can use like submachine gun like reloaders on like a gauntlet, which costs what, 2 on the solar gauntlet? So it's absolutely nothing. For the last column, we have Swashbuckler and Surrounded. Surrounded's, you know, pretty solid. The weapon gains bonus damage when 3 or more enemies are in close proximity, especially if you have the Surrounded spec on there. Like, you get more damage and it lasts a little longer when you're away from those enemies. That's great, but, you know, I think Swashbuckler always has a lot of utility. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with the weapon. If you just get a kill with the weapon, it goes from 1 stack up to 5, and then if you get a melee kill, it automatically puts the weapon at ×5. So it comes with a stability masterwork, which is already pretty solid. Mod-wise, you know, typically right now I'm using anti-barrier rounds just because it's the season, but probably in the future, depending on what's happening, I would probably go with a minor spec mod for PvE, and then for PvP, definitely go with backup mag. So just going over PvE, obviously this weapon is meant in Gambit, it's meant to shred down enemies. That's what it's made for. Close quarters encounters, especially with Swashbuckler and Surrounded, and Threat Detector being its perks, you're supposed to be up in the action. It's almost like Recluse. Now, the only reason I say that right now is because there's some changes that are going to be happening to Recluse. The body shot and the precision shot damages are going to be changing, so they're not basically equal in PvE and PvP. So I think Exit Strategy has a really good chance of coming up to being a really good weapon. Like, if you look at Swashbuckler ×5 and the damage, it is almost comparable to Recluse and the Master of Arms perk. And I really like it. It definitely allows me to switch around my builds, especially if I'm using Recluse with the, you know, the anti-barrier rounds for like a really good build, and I want to be able to use a, you know, an energy special weapon in that slot. I can switch to that and then use Exit Strategy as my kinetic primary and put anti-barrier rounds on that, and it still performs extremely well. Like, definitely highly recommend like switching between Exit Strategy and Recluse. I literally do it constantly because I'm like, both of these are very solid machine guns. Like, SMGs right now in the PvE state of things are just fantastic, and I really have no complaints about this gun in the PvE side of things. Going over PvP, surprisingly, I really like it. I dropped a video with me using Boundary Striker Titan with Dune Marchers, Ariana's Vow, and this weapon, the Exit Strategy. And it's a really solid build, especially Boundary Striker. You get that melee kill. Swashbuckler goes up to ×5. You get bonus damage and stability because of frontal assault. Blah, 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 blah. I actually had a really, really good time with this weapon. It has extremely good stats for an adaptive frame submachine gun. Very good range and stability and handling for this, I would say, archetype. Like, obviously it's well-rounded and whatnot, but it just comes with really good perks that are meant, like, for, I would say, PvP. Like, obviously the barrel, right? Arrowhead break. You get really good recoil control. Ricochet rounds, probably still the best perk even after that it got nerfed a little bit. Threat Detector, that's okay. If you're playing the long game when you use scout rifles, obviously Threat Detector is not going to be there. But this is a submachine gun. You're going to be up in the action, so this perk is going to be activated. And then Swashbuckler, like, no matter what, if you get a melee kill, get up to ×5, or just get a regular kill, you're still going to get a damage bonus almost no matter what with this weapon. So I really like it in PvP, to be honest. Like, it is probably one of my favorite weapons to use at the moment in the current sandbox. Now, going over Gambit, because this is what this weapon was meant for, am I right? So, you know, I do want to discuss kind of the PvP side of it. Obviously, everybody still wants to use machine guns, rocket launchers, heavy weapons, essentially, that can hit at a distance, right? Those are still always going to be dominant in Gambit. That is just how it ended up working out for the past, you know, over a year, like, since Forsaken came out with it. So I think in general, you stick to PvE with this weapon. I already discussed that it is comparable to Recluse, and especially with the nerf that's coming to Recluse, this thing could definitely stand a chance in the Gambit sandbox. Now, some exotics and perks to take into consideration. To be honest, I would just use an exotic that improves, you know, that melee, right? Considering it does come with Swashbuckler, you might as well use something that is going to actually provide an extremely good melee. One of the things that I like using this with is the Liar's Handshake on the Hunter, right? Obviously, you can get a melee, get Swashbuckler ×5, but then Liar's Handshake as well. You know, you have the cross counter, does really good damage. You can do, I believe it's Top Tree Arc Strider, get it up to ×3 with combination blow, get really good damage there. And then for secondary, you can just have a 1-2 punch shotgun. So you're always going to have extremely good damage. You'll have really good boss DPS with heavy weapon and the 1-2 punch shotgun, especially if you get combination blow ×3. And using Liar's Handshake, you'll be able to put off some extremely good damage. And then exit strategy, you know, obviously it's going to be very, very good. You get that melee kill initially, get the health back, because that is what, you know, Top Tree Arc Strider is for, right? You get Swashbuckler ×5, just shred through some enemies. Once you lose Swashbuckler ×5, it's either your choice to go up and melee somebody, get ×5 again, or just keep firing this thing. There's like so much utility with this weapon, especially with that melee side of things. It can be very, very interesting. In summary, I really, really like this weapon. If you're watching this right now, I would highly recommend hopping into Gambit, even though sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to do. If you want to make Gambit more enjoyable, just hop in with some friends. Maybe find some people on LFG that are, you know, looking to do it and want really high-skilled people to, you know, essentially just shred, like, through the enemies and through primevals and stuff like that. But I highly recommend getting this weapon. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.